Hey guys, this is Fahim Salam here with another episode of the CEO strategy. This is going to be one of my favorite ones where I am being the CEO of a hypothetical apparel brand specializing in men's t-shirts. Okay. And I am taking the profitable route. Now, if I was made the CEO of this company, again, what I'm gonna do is I will talk to the board. I want to know what the KPIs of the boards are. It could be hyper growth, it could be profitable. I'm gonna obviously go down the profitable route, but I do want to highlight the fact that if the board chose for a change in the management, changes the CEO, changes, they want me to do it, there's possibly three reasons for such change. One is slow growth or loss making. The company previously, or whoever the management was, potentially had a slower growth, or the profitable or the profitable route that they were going, the not the hyper growth route, it was not making much profits, or it was making losses. Number two is they probably want to go down a strategic shift, complete overhaul of the operations. They want to cancel up, offline retail stores of their t-shirts and their fashion brand, and they want to focus entirely on online, maybe because they realize that, the attention span of people is increasing, and if you don't shift to an online model, your brand value is going to be diluted over time and people are going to forget about it, right? And third thing, the the previous management or the previous CEO was probably culturally not fit to run the organization. So yeah, those are the three changes. Now I'm gonna get back to the momentum where I'm talking about turning this direct to consumer t-shirt brand, fashion brand into, you know, getting it into a profitable growth strategy. And before I do that, I need to, as the CEO, make sure I understand my KPIs as the CEO. My top seven KPIs for this strategy would be: number one, I focus on revenue growth, increased total sales year over year or quarter after quarter to drive overall business expansion. Number two, very important, that's the reason why we're talking about this, is that gross profit margin must increase over time and the cost of goods sold should be overall minimum to ensure profitability. Now, I must also ensure that because I'm going down the profitable route, my customer lifetime value must over time increase, that the customer must repeatedly buy from me. And that has direct correlations with the product quality and the level of your customer service. Now, number four is customer acquisition cost. Lower the cost to gain new customers for efficient scaling. Obviously, that is also a direct function of how great your product is and how great your customer service is. Because once you do that, you increase your net promoter score, you increase your referrals and your repeat buyers, right? Actually, the third point, that is a direct correlation of product quality and customer service. Average order value must increase. You're probably bundling up. You probably have a great choice of products, different colors of t-shirts, whatever. But over time, your average order value must increase and spent over a period of time. Now, order value could also be increased through your different marketing tactics, where you're bundling things, where a different messaging, lifestyles that you're showcasing for this fashion brand, right? And number seven, which is kind of related to number three, which is net promoter score. How much and how likely are your existing customers to refer you? Again, this is probably the fourth point, that it is a direct function of your product quality and your customer service. So moving on, profitable growth. What am I going to be doing with the management? I am going to talk to the current heads of departments. I want to understand their KPIs. I want to make sure that they understand their KPIs. If the KPIs are not aligned to profitability, you get rid of them, you remove those KPIs. If they are aligned with the profitability goals, you keep them. I want to understand their reporting templates and their structures. If the management has certain structures, I want to have a look at them. And if they are aligned with the new company goals, which is I am setting that the company must be profitable within the next quarter, then you keep those reporting formats. If it doesn't, remove them, chuck it out. Now, here's a little bit of a note that I wrote down. just to highlight it, which is your lifetime value divided by 3 should always be higher than your CAC, and always maintain 30 to 40% gross margins in your online store. You cannot do this if you do not have a high quality. Yeah. So you absolutely cannot do this if you do not have high quality and a differentiated product line, because everybody is going to be fighting for that same t-shirt. And what you're going to do eventually is you're going to lower your price point, and that is going to be the end of you. Number two is build a lean, skilled team and focus on data driven decisions. What colors of t shirts, what products, what sizes are being sold, to whom, what areas are being sold to, where are your most of your orders coming from? Are you running your ads in those specific areas, or are you running your ads blindly in some other areas, right? You must measure these KPIs. Number three, very important, position your brand around quality, sustainability, and craftsmanship. One of my favorite brands in this country is a company called Wild Woven, which is a leather products brand. And every time I've seen their products, it just brings me so much joy because they have simplified it to like 4 or 5 colors and very high quality leather wallets, purses, bags, right? But they've done such a good job at it, because I mean, in whatever ways, but that really stuck in my mind because craftsmanship was very obvious. Obviously the quality was very good, right? So whenever a person sees your brand, your color, t-shirt packaging, and the fabric itself, they must know that this is a brand to trust. And that is how you're going to build long-term loyalty and long-term profitability. Okay, now moving on, what am I going to do with sales? When I'm going down the profitable route and I have a few months to make sure that I'm setting the company up to a stage where it's generating long-term profits, I will, number one, I will always focus on the highest selling products. Why? Because obviously I want to focus and I want to make sure that I'm paying attention to what's working. Now, highest organic sales products could be designs, could be colors. These are all working with organic sales and they have very high ROAS. Identify those and multiply that strategy, right? Multiply the ads, multiply taking pictures of those products. Number two is determine the products and designs and colors that are done with push sales, because this could be high selling because you're pushing the ads, but that's also not very good for you because you're spending more ads and your margins are very slim in that. So you can do two things about that. You can actually get rid of them, or you could bundle them up with high ROAS products and empty out your inventory, because anytime you carry low ROAS products and you're push selling all the time, it's not very good for your bottom line, right? Okay, now what am I going to do with low selling products? You absolutely have to be strict enough to discontinue these SKUs and designs, because online e-commerce means focus on really great products that the customers want and that's working. And another thing you could do with low selling products is they were probably low selling because you never tested them out. You never allocated any budget. So you don't know, you did not gauge customer demand for whatever reason, right? So what I would recommend is allocate 5% of your ad budget with ads to see if there is any traction, right? Very minimal, 5% of your ad budget. If you get some positive results, keep that SKU, right? If it's high ROAS and high converting. If it's negative results, remove the SKU. Do not think about them twice. Now, here's the point, right? Why is removing SKUs so important? Removing SKUs, in my opinion, is a dramatic act that is entirely literally to convince yourself that you do not hold on to dead weight in the way of your progress. And it helps you focus, because e-commerce means focus on the products that's working. Focus. Now, here's a little bit of a summary note that I wrote down here in yellow sticky notes, which is focus on Facebook content, or whichever, Facebook or Google, wherever you're running your ads. Make sure you're doing your SEO optimization. There's a tool called SEO Bot for high intent buyers. You can use these tools probably for free on the trial phase, and you probably have to pay somewhere around $20 a month, right? These are extremely critical for you to make sure that you are centering your brand on content and you're optimizing your SEO so that the right people are finding your brand, right? Leverage affiliate marketing with influencers, loyalty programs, and make sure you remember to give them a hook on the next purchase, right? You give them a little card, like, here's a 5% discount on your next purchase. That always gives them a hook to come back for more. Number three, Maximize repeat purchases via bundles and upsells. Combo packages work wonders for this part of the world. Like people love combo packages, right? Number four, reduce reliance on Facebook ads unless high ROAS is maintained. This is extremely important because again, you're selling t-shirts, and fashion is a very, very competitive market, right? It's cutthroat margins. It's very difficult to stay in the game if you're not smart enough with your numbers and you're constantly monitoring that. Number five, AI driven retargeting and email and SMS automation to recover abandoned carts. Very important because a lot of people miss out. They order something, place something, and they don't know when to get it back. I mean, unless you email them or you send them an SMS like, hey, you left something in the cart, you didn't complete it. Did you want to complete the purchase order? And then leave them like a finalized link so that they can click on it, go there, and just pay up and complete the order. Okay, so moving on to the next step, which is what are you going to do with your return, cancel, and total order ratio? So assess the reason. Very, very important. Assess the reason. Take your time, take your team with you. Why are these items being returned? Because that is going to make or break your business. You need to understand all your company's flaws, right? If is it a bad product? Is it the wrong product? Or there was issues with order verification? Not paying attention to this will affect your net promoter score because your customers are gonna not gonna refer you because you didn't pay attention to them. So ask questions to them, right? Then what am I going to do about marketing? Because I'm a fashion brand, it means that you have to consistently showcase your products repeatedly in front of an audience. You could do that with basically influencers, or you could hire models. But again, you're trying to go down the profitable route. So that does not mean you get a studio. You rent out a space literally for 24 hours only. And that's a very limited type span because you need to know what you're doing. If you have all the time in the world, you're not going to be focused enough. You're not always going to be blabbering things. So within 24 hours is a long enough time for you to strategize your entire marketing and making sure you have the right SKUs and products, and you have the data behind it and to make that decision, to make that 24 hours really effective. If you go back and forth, you're going to waste time and you're going to waste money. Take all your products, models and model or models, and within that space take as many photos as you can with as many backgrounds and settings as possible, because again, now everything that you're doing within a 24-hour time span, you are actually thinking about, you're clarifying your thoughts about a lot of things, and you're enacting on your thoughts. So it is very, very important that you're calculative and you give yourself that limit so that you're more effective and efficient. What am I going to do with customer service? Well, it's very simple. You build a customer service team with very fixed KPIs. What is that KPI? It's customer love. Always customer love. Do not be discounting stuff. This is something that's extremely important, that whatever it is, if you have the habit of discounting stuff, people are also going to be discounting their value for your brand. Now reach out to and talk to the customers, find out what they love about your brand, right? Hire the team to do this. And this is extremely important here. Here's this note. Look at this. This note says that you need to ask them these questions. How was your delivery experience, ma'am? Did the material suit your skin? Because obviously it's a fashion brand. Was the size okay? Was the color up to your expectations? It's a very competitive market, and customers need to feel that they're cared for by your brand, right? Anytime you ask those questions, if customers feel that you're caring about them by asking these questions, it's very personalized, and they're gonna keep coming for more because they know what it feels like in this brand is treating me right. So use these feedback to for content, product ideation, or even product improvements. And because you're talking for so long, you could use that time to upsell and cross sell some of the products, right? And also sell combo packages and products. So here's a summary, right? So with customer service, you provide 24/7 human support for premium experience. Now remember your best coffee shop experience always, or your best barber experience, right? When you remember that, it leaves a lasting impression in your heart. It's like, oh wow, that coffee shop I went to, it always smelled really nice in there, right? The staff was really cordial. They wrote my name on it, whatever. You remember that, and that is what you need to do with your brand. Number two, offer hassle-free returns and exchanges to reduce friction. I have never come across a single D2C brand where the customers are extremely happy about returns. They're not, they never are. This is a universal fact. And what it is, it's an industry fact. People don't want to deal with returns. So you need to figure out a way to process hassle-free returns. Just like take it as your sunk cost or whatever. And if you have too much of that sunk cost, it's going to cut to your margin. So you're going to be very particular about your product quality, that people will never return because of the quality. People might return because of a wrong product, which is where you need to work on. Is you need to hire the best of the best fulfillment centers and the best of the best operations teams so that they don't get your product wrong. Number three, use exclusive communities to boost retention. You know what? This is something personal. It's a personal opinion of mine, and I think it works. Who wears the most t-shirts? In my circle and in my observation, I think CEOs do a lot of t-shirts because they don't want to think. So when you're, giving out t-shirts to your customers, you understand the demographic of your customers. Find out and give them exclusive access to certain events. These guys wear t-shirts in some sort of a club or like a function or some sort of a tech event or whatever. Figure out those events and make sure you create like a mailing list so that you can invite them over, make them feel wanted, make them feel that they're part of this community, exclusive community. And that's when they're going to start respecting your brand and seeing you more than what you are right now. And that is what marketing is. People value you more than you value yourself, and that's when you've actually been successful. Okay, moving on. Now, what am I going to do with operations? It's very simple. I have to find out the cost of my operating facility, my office rent, my photo studio, my warehouse rent, staff count. And then I have to reduce office size if needed, because again, I am a direct to consumer brand. My customers do not see my office. I need to invest in things that are directly impacting my customer experience. And that's it. I don't have to do anything else. Now, number two is contract out a fulfillment center so that I don't have to have warehouse rent. I don't have to have warehouse staff. I don't need to train them on things. There's a fulfillment center. They can do everything. Remember, you're paying for them when you have orders or not, because when you have a warehouse on your own and you have your staff, whether you have orders or not, that's a sunk cost. That's something that's a cost that you bear. But when you have a third party fulfillment center, you usually pay them on an order basis, right? Per order. So number three, very important, you respectfully let go of people you do not need in your enterprise, because you're trying to be a profitable brand. You figure out things, you automate where you need, you outsource where you have to. Let go of the people that you do not need in your enterprise. You do a favor on yourself and you do a favor on them, identifying it early, right? And you're not wasting their time either. Number four is do not lease studios. Rent studios for 24 hours, film all your content for the whole year or for the quarter within 24 hours inside the studio. Pay for only one day. That's extremely important. That's how you basically stay profitable, by spending less, right? Here's a little summary. Partner up with 3PLs for 2-day delivery in key markets. Yeah, use branded sustainable packaging for better customer experience. Be very technical. Optimize inventory with AI driven forecasting to prevent overstock. Critical for superior customer experience. No customer wants to place an order and then find out that you don't have an inventory. Remember that, right? Okay. Now, the second thing with operations that I'll be doing is find out the suppliers of the highest selling products and negotiate rates on larger volumes and improve your lead time. If it works, great. If it does not work, find other suppliers for the same highest selling products. Now, that would be the strategy for me to build a profitable fashion brand or a t-shirt brand. Happy to answer any questions in the comments below. Do message me, DM me, whatever. But hope that's been helpful. If you found any value from this analysis, from this mind map, do like this video and click subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.